What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to talk about Mother's Instinct. This film is available with audio description, and you check it out. It came out a while ago, actually. I'm just now catching up on it, just in case I wanted to. It wasn't provided for my consideration, but I was like, it's got Anne Hathaway and Jessica Chastain. How could I not find out what this is? So, Mother's Instinct, it is. Um, so yes, those two star. This takes place. This is sort of a period piece in so much that we're talking about the Ruskies, the Soviets, and the space age, space race. There's a little comment on, oh, he's too young to run. So obviously they're talking about Kennedy without name checking it. So like they're giving you little politics in addition to little things that are thrown in there that obviously you notice we're missing. Like you'd be like, where are the cell phones and the computers? Why is everybody glued to their television? Um, so yeah, people actually just kind of do things, and lots of smoking too. That's another immediate, is that everyone here is smoking all the time in the audio. Kudos to team narrator here, team audio description on tracking the smoking. I was like, ooh, we could do a drinking game based on like, casually. It's like a theater full of people, but all the blind people have gotten together, and we're all like, okay, so every time we bring up smoking, we're gonna take a shot, and then the rest of the theater is like, why are all the blind people wasted? It's like by the end of the film. I said the same thing with Helen Mirren's Golda. I was like, man, if you just did a shot every time they talked about the smoking in that film, duh, you'd be out. Like, good luck. Good, good luck making it out. Um, so, yes, I, I definitely, I have to say, before we move any further, I'm going to give a little plot summary. And I don't want to spoil this movie because I think this movie's interesting. Not necessarily the best movie of the year. This is not like oh my God, rush out and see this. But there's some interesting stuff to tackle here. But it becomes less interesting if you know everything. But I also feel like, there's some things that people like to know before they go into movies as to like, does this film have this? We call those trigger warnings nowadays. So, like this film would not be right for everybody, but not for the reason that you think. This film would be inappropriate for certain people who have experienced certain things, and they should not experience this movie. Does that make sense? Okay, so here is the best way I can describe this movie to you. Two families that live side by side, both, husband, wife, both have a little son, and they coexist in this sort of peaceful happiness, tranquility. Their lives are upended when something happens to one of the kids in one of the families. And the movie continues. So, that's as spoiler free as I can get, while also trying to point those who might need to run in the right direction. So, it's not a horror movie either. So, there you go. I would say what I liked about it are the reasons I watched the film in the first place, which is Anne Hathaway and Jessica Chastain. I thought while I can't say this is the best performance for either of them, like of their careers, like I don't feel the need to be like, oh my God, another Oscar for both. No, this is not that. This is a strong performance from both of them. So if you are a fan of Anne Hathaway or Jessica Chastain, you should watch this because they are good in this film. Unfortunately, their two men are not. Josh Charles, I thought was a waste of time, and the other guy is just I didn't even bother to learn his name. I was like, I don't want to know you, and I'm not going to follow your film career. I just thought it was such a waste of space. The one that plays Chastain's husband, it's like, how did you make it into the top four of his cast? He just, Anyway, who's just giving me nothing. And he has probably more emotional elements for no discernible reason. Like, he's just really emotional without having a lot of background story for being emotional, whereas Josh Charles at least has discernible reasons for but then again, I just don't like him. I don't like either one of them. They also represent sort of like the back in the day when, like, no, women stay home. You know, I think it's Chastain that's the one that wants to go back to writing. Like, they both have, they've both had kids, both these women and their mothers, and they're itching to do something other than gardening. So, she used to, I guess, write when she was younger before she had a kid. And he's like, well, why didn't you write for the school newspaper? And I was like, what school? The elementary school that her kid goes to? Which fucking school are you talking about? Like, she clearly doesn't go to one. Are you talking... Did you just tell her to write for the elementary school newspaper? Like, her kid isn't that old. What paper? I was so confused. So no wonder there's tension in these marriages. It's like, dudes just did not understand back in the day. Like, so no, I don't like either of the guys in this film. So it's really easy to just sort of write them off, and then you're like, whatever happens to them happens. You're just like, I don't care. Just get out of this movie. But luckily, the focus is not on them. They just sort of come in and out of the film. This film is really almost like a chamber piece, because it's really almost like four people are like the center. You do have the kids, but they're kind of there. They're not really evolved as characters. It's hard to say that either one of the boys is ever developed as a character. Like, the hopes, dreams, wants, wishes has a scene where they just kind of sit there and contemplate. They're never followed narratively as like a protagonist on anything. So they're objects more than anything. They could literally fucking be dogs. This movie could literally just be about dogs. Like, like two couples who live next door, and instead of kids, they have dogs. That's how underdeveloped as children they are. So when I say a chamber piece, I really do mean it is about two wives and two husbands, and the dynamic of living next door to each other, and the something that happens, and how that changes things, and how the film progresses for the second and third acts of the film from there. So, yeah, I liked Anne Hathaway probably the most because she's given the most to do here. But Jessica Chastain also has some really nice moments as well. So, I just think this really comes down to, do you like to see these people in a movie? And if so, go ahead and watch this. If you're not a huge Jessica Chastain or Anne Hathaway fan, and you are not like a strong devotee of their dramatic work, then don't bother with this. This is basically just a drama. It's just got themes. It's got a lot of different themes in it. Not just the one that I'm trying not to spoil, but also the one that just is general of the time period and a woman's place. The fact that I even have to use that phrase, the woman's place, as if there is one. Where is it? I don't know. It could be anywhere you want. Like, I don't... Where do you want to stand? I don't, that's how I feel about it. But in here, this is very much a woman's place movie. A woman has a place, and the man is the breadwinner of the household, and the woman is the caretaker of the home and the child and the garden, and how dare she ever want more than that? So it's better than I thought it was going to be, considering this film has basically been abandoned. So I'm gonna go. I thought the audio description was pretty good, especially with the scenes that it needs to, the more impactful scenes. All of the scenes that I can't tell you because they're all spoilery. There's sort of like more than one spoilery scene. I would say the second and third acts of this film are meatier, and that's what you want to get into. Like, I can talk about the smoking and be like, well, it tracked that really well, but I can't really tell you what it tracks well in the second and third act. It's not a horror movie though. It is like a drama verging on suspense, I would say, at times. At times. Mostly a drama. So, again, I didn't hate it. So I'm gonna give Mother's Instinct a B. Thought it was pretty good, but not like it's not gonna be in my top 25. I don't see if I'm doing this for like my own personal awards, it's not gonna end up anywhere for awards consideration. And because it's not either of their best work. Um I would say Hathaway maybe for lead actress could end up being like my 10th, ninth or 10th spot, depending on how the year goes right now. Chastain, I would probably put her in supporting, and again, ninth or 10th. Because I'm not feeling like extremely motivated because it's not either one of their best performances. It's just a good performance from both actresses. So if they end up in my 10, it's really more of the what the hell happened this year than this. Um, so anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.